So welcome to the Scrum Sesh with Benson and Tom. I'm Tom, and
I'm
to my
Benson.
to my left, or through the virtual world, is Benson, and we're going to be covering all things Rugby League. And Benson, is there anything else you want to add?
Oh, I'm excited for the first episode. Let's
Yeah.
just get into it, eh?
Yeah. So everyone, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and of course follow all our other
Um,
socials in the description. I'm sure we'll have
yep.
that up and running by the time this video goes out. So let's get into everything Rugby League in this week.
Now,
So yeah,
let's get into. So we're gonna start with reviewing round two, and then going into our predictions for round three,
yep,
and then we're gonna do the great and mighty early, way too early
yeah.
ladder
Ladder
predictions.
predictions. I know 2 rounds in.
And warning,
Yeah,
Tigers fans might not be as happy as they thought they'd be this season. So let's just get
yeah.
into it.
Uh, we've got a bit of a ways to get there, but we'll
Yeah.
make it. So round two.
All right.
I don't know if you know this, but
First,
all the home teams
yeah.
won. I like for
I did not
tipping.
notice that.
I had a look at it. I got both Souths and Dragons wrong because I tipped away from home, but all the home teams won, and like
Yeah.
it was
It was a bit of a shocking round compared to the first round. I think there was a lot of it was a tale of two, sides.
well, we had like
Especially
that
yeah, go
Cows
on.
game was like really good. The golden point or extra time, I can't remember what it was, but the field goal.
I thought the cows were actually gonna, you know, uh
Yeah,
obliterate probably the Knights.
yeah, I thought that too, but I think the Knights scored first and also were leading for a while until the Cowboys actually hit back quite late in their game. I think in the second half they scored like 2 tries within that second half to put them
Yeah.
within reaching distance. So we'll go through the round that just
So
passed.
first game to round was the battle of the losers in Vegas.
Yeah.
Very underwhelming performances in Vegas. Bronx versus Bunnies.
I don't think if the Souths were better in round one than they were in this game. I think
I think so too.
Broncos back at home, given a week, and they're practicing everything they've
And
shown.
honestly, it was the Reese Walsh show, to be honest.
Oh yeah, that was
Uh,
a bit like Reece shows off, but I think he's got all right too at that stage. Like I think the first try Broncos scored, he just weaved through to defense and just
Beautiful.
cut through everyone.
Yeah.
So
Now, question is he the best fullback in the league?
there is
So far. It's too early, but so far.
yeah.
Because I don't know. I love how he's playing.
Yeah.
I think it's great. Latrell Mitchell underperforming.
Yeah, you could
What would you
say
say?
he underperformed. I think
Uh,
he had his moments, I think, in the game, but
yeah.
I think he also wasn't the only problem. I think Lachlan Ilias did have a few shockers in that game. I think I watched some highlights on Channel 9, and I think two of them were showing he dropped the ball twice just off Damien Cook passing to him, so he had a bit of rotten luck in that round, and I think it obviously showed because they dropped him this week, I think. And
I mean, it's obviously a team game, but
yeah,
yeah, no. I just think from being a superstar, being like the main guy in the team, the highest paid player, I think I'd expect a bit more
and he does
X factor
usually
from it.
live up to those.
I mean, that last try was. I don't know if I think the Broncos kind of switched off after that.
Yeah, I think they did, which you can take as worrying signs because they're not playing the 80 minutes, but
They're
I think
just playing to,
they
getting enough points and they've kind of stopped,
yeah, I think South had the majority of that game at the end. They thought, let's just try and score here or something, and they got the final try on the buzzer, and I think South are not looking too bad. Despite they lost, I think they're in a good position going forward. So
I just think they underperformed as a team
yeah,
in the past 2 rounds. I think they can do a lot better.
yeah,
Now, Adam Reynolds, his kicking game. Now, that's one thing that kind of I noticed.
yeah. You talk
I
about
think he took
in play kicking or goal kicking? Because I thought his in play.
conversion.
I thought his in play kicking was pretty decent. Because
Oh yeah,
I think
I think that was great. That
he
was one of
rolled
the
a few
tries.
kicks in. I think as the try to Dean Mariner, the first try he had
Yeah.
actually. Nice
It was a
scrubber
beautiful
into
kick.
the in goal. Good score. And then I think his goal kicking just took a back seat. I'm not sure he's out with a knee injury. I'm not sure that was hindering him. It looked like it was. I think.
And Reece Walsh took the final 2 conversions and
Yeah.
kind of slotted them in
Yeah. I
easily.
think they're not in trouble, I guess, in the goal
No.
kicking department. Like Reece is there. He's a decent kicker. I think when he was at the Warriors, he kicked most of their goals and they were
He was the main kicker.
They were pretty solid in that area. So.
It's not a big part of their game. It's not like they're just scraping by and those kicks really matter.
But Jock Madden in at number 7 this week for Broncos.
Yeah.
I think he is. I think I watched a couple of his performances last year. I think he was playing at 6. I think they put him at 6 a few games while Ezra.
Yeah, I think he was playing.
And I
6.
think he played decently well. Whether you can transform that, I know the difference between 6 and 7 is quite big in that controlling role. But I think he'll have a pretty decent game. Like he's got good pack forwards. Billy's solid. Ezra's going to break the line if he finds space. Good centres, and you got Reece out the back who can break the line if he chooses.
Yeah, exactly, and be unpredictable as hell.
Yeah, they're not in any department for that, so I think.
I think the Broncos will do decent this year. It's early, but I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, they'll do better.
Regardless, because their depth is a bit better than previous years.
I think they'll do well, but I think last year's you can't judge too much off what we did last year.
Yeah, exactly.
As
team. Anyway, next game we gotta move on. Busy schedule today, Tom.
Yeah, busy schedule. All right. We got the Friday game. They had Sharks down in Cronulla taking on the Bulldogs, and for the first half of that game, the Bulldogs didn't seem that bad, but the score 25-6, so you can just tell how that went.
I think I was when I watched the game. After I watched the game, I was saying to you, it's a very battle of two halves.
Yeah.
There was like the first half where the Dogs were absolutely solid, and they're being the Dogs. They're being ruthless.
Yeah.
And then the Sharks in this, late in the first half, mostly in the second half, just showed their class as a playmaking team.
Yeah. They definitely, I think they showed they've got a bit more experience in their team that maybe the Bulldogs kind of lack. I mean, they've got a fairly young team. I think I looked at a stat, I think from 2020 and the team from now, and there's no one in that 17 still there. I think with Gus coming in, he cleared out the whole roster pretty much, and I think the last people to go were like Raymond Fatala-Mariner was one of the ones last to go, and he was in the team in 2020, and I think he played only a handful of games from then for the Dogs. He's either injured or just didn't get selected. But the Bulldogs, they had the disallowed try, but they actually scored first, which I didn't expect.
Yeah, they did.
And I don't.
They did.
I don't think Cronulla, I can't remember if they scored in the first half or not, but I think the Dogs were not looking that bad.
I don't think they were that bad. But what I'll say is, I think with the Bulldogs, because they're such a young side and there's actually a lot of egos in that team, that's what I think is hindering their success. Because you have all these young players coming from, Penrith and all the, being great players there and having success in those teams, and then coming here, going on decent contracts, and then their kind of ego kind of gets the better of them.
Yeah. Well, you just look at, there's only a handful of guys who are actual Bulldogs, like juniors, or have been at the club for long. Like, you look at their spine. You got Marnie, Parramatta, Drews from Hutchinson's from Roosters, Burton is Penrith, and then Blake Tass from South. Like, their whole spine is...
And Crichton.
And Crichton's from Penrith too.
Right.
I can't remember who they've got Kickow, Penrith, so they've got a lot of talent that's just not Bulldogs, but they're making
they have
it
Jacob
work.
Kiraz. I do like Jacob
I
Kiraz.
think it's like Kiraz and one of the prop number 8 for
Max King.
yeah, Max King. I think he was
Yeah.
he's been pretty decent for them.
He's always been pretty consistent.
Yeah,
to be
and I
honest.
think it was a
Getting
couple
big
of years
tackles.
ago when Josh Jackson retired and he was that hard man in the forwards and repped the club
Oh, yeah.
as the captain, so they needed that. But I think one of the big things I remember from that game was I think the bunker got involved. There was the previous set. I think it was fourth tackle, kick our round down left hand side, and Britton Nakora came in with his shoulder, direct contact with the head. Now, in real time, no one saw it. So I think everyone, including myself, when I was watching the game,
Kept on just watching.
when the ref, stopped the game,
Replayed it.
I was like, "What's going on?" He's like, "We'll go back to the previous set." And I was like, "What?
Why?
I didn't see anything wrong." But in the replays, actually showed. Now, I want to get your opinion on this. I think watching the replays, it was valid, the sin bin. I even thought there was a bit of more in it, but I think sin bin probably sliced. But what did you think of that call?
I agree. I think it was a bit more, not just going for a normal tackle, just getting a shoulder into it. Yeah, I think that's a valid sin bin.
Yeah.
But watching the play, I don't think anyone would have really noticed it because that's how the game was running. It was a fast-paced game.
Yeah,
and I think there was a lot of things going on.
It was right from the referee because the referee might have seen a glimpse of it, but not enough. So I think the bunker actually helped there. But last tackle, they made a break down the sideline, and they had a chance there was a chance to get within their line. So I think he's right by not stopping the game there. But I think it just shows that the bunker's going to get involved more this season with like sin bins.
Yeah,
and stuff,
I
don't
agree.
think that came
Especially with the doggies.
I think the on-field ref is going to let that go.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, the bunker.
Yeah.
I think went in, he talked in his ear and got that one. So,
All right.
Sharks looking decent. Yeah,
they're looking.
Always the speculation that they can never beat a top 8 side, but I think
We'll see how they go.
we'll have to see how they go this week. Sharks are playing the Tigers, so they'll have a pretty easy game. But I think as the season progresses, we'll see if they're.
And if you look at Nico, he's their centre man. Every time I saw a major play from that, Nico had his hands on the ball and he was dictating the play.
Yeah.
And I think that's what determined between the Sharks and the Bulldogs that game was that Nico's playmaking and some other players' playmaking, obviously, but Nico really orchestrated that.
Yeah, which is what you want. I mean, I think him and Will Kennedy's always been an underrated player in that fullback position.
Yeah.
I think he's been quite important for them too. So we'll move on to the other Friday game, Penrith and Parramatta. Penrith beating the Eels 26-18 down in Penrith.
I got a stat for you. The past, I'm pretty certain, the past 4 games between Penrith and Para, Para has won all 4 games.
Yeah.
And I was saying to someone,
something like that, yeah.
This was actually the only game that I tipped against the home side because of that stat and me remembering that, and I thought, you know what, it might just be a certainty. But have the Panthers broken that now?
I don't think I tipped Penrith. I didn't really have any doubt of it. I mean, I got that stat, but way Parramatta played and how they've gone, I don't think they're not the same team that they beat Penrith. And I think Penrith were going to look to put on a big show, home ground advantage, and after being held scoreless, I think there was a bit of an itch during that week prepping for Parramatta. They wanted to get back for that. So,
I think that was the same with the Bronx as well when they lost in Vegas. They kind of were itching to kind of prove themselves that they haven't dropped off like a lot of people thought.
Yeah, that's right. And I think South also wanted to do that, but I don't think they got away to that start they wanted. But I think 26-18 is not
close
a
game.
Bad score. Like, I think when in terms of Penrith games, when it's not a blowout and the score is actually quite close, I'm kind of happy that I don't mind Penrith won as long as the game was kind of good. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And I think it was very close. I actually think um now looking at it, um Para was actually leading that game.
Yeah.
And I think they were the one putting the pressure on Penrith.
Mm.
And then it was obviously um, Tuva's try and also Tago's try
Mm.
that got Penrith over the line.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
that try you just mentioned, Isaiah Yo. I mean, this man can do anything. He can run the football.
oh,
His
that
ball
kick!
playing is great.
Oh,
That kick. I have seen some halves kick more shoddy balls than that. He
yeah,
looked and like I'm him. Just kicks it to the
yeah.
corner, jumps
Didn't give a
perfectly,
shit.
and puts it down. I was like, this man does not have a bad gene in his body. Maybe he doesn't. He's not the prettiest guy on the planet,
No.
but hell, I think he's one of the best footy players. I think
Hey, but
it's him, Carrigan, and I think Cam Murray are all the top number 13s in this competition. Isaiah, I've been saying it for years. One of the best ball playing forwards on just playing NRL in general.
now,
He
does he
is
replace Luai in
ridiculous.
halves next season with that
They
kick?
give it a go. I think that's definitely given his kicking license to anyone. I think if they got a close game, I reckon you got field goal, you get three
Chuck him
options.
in halves.
You got three options for a field goal if you get close in that game. You've got Cleary, Luai, and then you got Isaiah Yo. I want to see him take a crack at the goal at least once during this season.
Imagine a grand final for Isaiah Yo determining it with a kick
Oh yeah,
to kick field goal. That would be scenes.
ridiculous. I mean, I don't know how. I think that crowd were pretty on fire, but I think they celebrated more that try from Isaiah Yo. They're like, "What is this?
It
What?"
was like that Capewell kick a couple
Oh,
years ago in Origin where it was like the most worst form, but the kick ended up
oh
going
yeah,
well and they scored
2020
that try and
looked
everyone
like.
was going crazy about it.
Oh my god, that was ridiculous. Like, the fact he managed to kick that because he kicked it off his right foot, but he jumped off his right foot. So as he's running, he stops and then jumps off
And
his
then lifted
right
his
and
leg.
then drops it and then kicks it almost like he almost like fell backwards and just let his leg kick it up. And I was
Exactly.
wondering, how have you not busted something there? And then
Great
yeah,
try.
yeah, I don't.
All right. Well,
They
I think
cannot.
it's same old Penrith this year. I think.
Same old Penrith. Maybe a few other teams might get a good win. I'm thinking maybe Manly could have a chance, or Broncos.
Oh
again.
man,
And we'll have
we'll
to
get
see.
into that.
We'll have to
That's
see. So, but then
all right.
down in the nation's capital, Canberra Raiders versus
The milk up the milk.
everybody's team to hate or love to hate. West
The
Tigers.
West Tigers.
I mean,
Now,
I haven't got much to say because I think that score and you just watch the highlights kind of speaks for themselves. About
look, the youngsters, the debuting youngsters, Galvin,
Yeah.
they all did pretty well for their age and coming into NRL team. They're good. They got great potential to West Tigers.
yeah.
But then again, that there was two tries and two of the Canberra tries, and they'll up the Tigers' right side, the Canberra left,
Yeah.
and it was pretty much identical tries, and it was all because the players were bunching up, and I don't know if that's experience or just lack of communication, but
Yeah.
not. It was when I saw those, I was like, oh, this is not looking good at all.
Yeah, I think that was a big part of that. I mean, I
And
think that one try Xavier Savage ran down the left off the penalty and the quick
yeah,
tap. I just went. It doesn't. The commentator's like, that's shocking. I was like, it doesn't surprise me that is the thing
Yeah.
that they lose to. Because sure, they can defend the set of six and the set play, like they practice that. That's just broken play, and you kind of have to just have instinct to switch on and defend it. But I think Canberra are generally one of these dark horses this season. I've got them
well,
going well this season, and
I think it's because a lot of. Yeah, you go. Sorry.
no, that's all good. I think Jack Whiting leaving the club, they not. I don't think I was expecting that, to be honest.
Mm.
But I don't think they're they have got some decent boys there.
I think it's because people predicted them so low. Like I know a lot of people saying how Canberra's going to be bottom three this year. I didn't see that, but I thought they'd be a bit lower. But I'm actually saying, as you'll see later on, I think actually Canberra might be fighting for that top 8.
I think
obviously if they keep this play, and they're playing very different teams than they have. But yeah, I think it's just that they want to prove everyone wrong and show that Canberra can make a top 8 like they used to.
Yeah, I think ever since like 2019 and they had that grand final match, they've never ever seemed to get on the same pace. But this is the best start to a season I think I've seen Canberra have in a while, and it comes when they've lost one of their biggest assets in Jack White. But I think
and it makes you question
have to
then
see whether it's just hype. Because
exactly. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they played against Newcastle and the Tigers. Who
very early on.
Yeah.
Aren't the best teams either.
No, so we'll have to see. Maybe
it's like the Dragons.
Someone against like maybe Cows or
someone that's slightly better.
Cows,
Bunnies,
Sharks, Bunnies, even maybe the Roosters. I think they can give a good crack at the Roosters.
Yeah,
I think I'm on the Canberra Raiders hype train for this season. I think they're
You're up the milk. Up the milk.
Up the milk. God, what are some of these?
It's not up the wires this season. It's up the milk.
Some of these just they hurt my brain sometimes. Just thinking about like up the wires. I heard that way too
Fins
often.
up.
Fins up. That was stupid. I actually went to a Dolphins game. Saw him get pumped by the Cowboys. Like every time the guy just tried to get that crowd hype, everyone would just be like
the stupid trumpet at the
anything.
beginning.
I don't know what that's
You remember the stupid trumpet? I don't know what the fuck was going on. I was with a couple of mates and mate, we were just like, what the hell's going on? It was like so confusing as hell. But we'll get to that. But yeah, Canberra's looking good early on, but it could be just a hype.
And Tigers.
And you got to remember, the Tigers, this is their first official game. They've won the bye, but are they going to win any more games?
No, they'll pull.
That's the question.
They'll pull something out somewhere in there. I mean, just give it time, and they'll be on the track.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we go
early days,
up north. Cowboys
up north,
Newcastle.
Now a lot closer than I thought would be. I did predict Cowboys, but
this was a cracking game though.
It was a good game. It was very close. Both teams were really in it, and I don't think as a Knights fan you can be disappointed from that.
No, I don't think you can. Obviously, you're disappointed your team 2 losses to start the season. That Canberra game at home, they were a bit shocking, but I don't think they can.
They weren't as shocking in this game. I think they stepped it up.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna step it up. Or we'll have to see it. I mean, they've got rid of Jackson Hastings this week. Which we'll have to see how that obviously progresses their team. Which
exactly.
Not sure I agree with that. I think when you spend a whole pre-season training with one guy, and I think Jackson
you kind of want to
is not the problem there. I think I was watching 360 and I thought someone said the problem, they didn't think it was, they thought the problem was Tyson Gamble didn't do enough rather than Hastings wasn't good enough, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
1 point. I mean, people say you got to win the close games. When you're in the fight and it's neck and neck, and the other team,
and it's also North Queensland as well.
Yeah,
like
they're decently
climate
well too. Cows are a decently good team, so I think if you're a Newcastle fan, you are not too disappointed
at all.
But I think Cows are happy with themselves. 2 wins to start the season. I think they're going a good run. I think it'll be a good game to see Cowboys and Canberra. We've got arguably one of the best starts out of most of any team, apart from maybe Manly and maybe Melbourne. But
Yeah.
I think if we see Canberra and Cowboys come up, there'll be similar form. I think that'll be a good game to watch.
It really show who's, it was really show where these teams are positioned, because it's only been two rounds. It's very hard to, say off 2 rounds.
Yeah, the fact we got a golden point deciding game in round 2
very early
between the Cowboys and the Knights, who are both looking to get on their form. It's good signs for this season. Even though Penrith probably gonna break all our hearts, like Max Verstappen is in Formula One, we will have a good season on our hands, and I think it's anyone's game, apart from maybe.
I think it's a bit closer this season.
Yeah,
I think it is.
It's closer.
Okay. So,
oh boy,
Cows did all right. Knights can't be disappointed. But this game, is this the game of the season so far?
I think that's it's one of the top matchups.
And I think that try by Oates might be one of the best tries I've seen. I remember leaving the TV, and I had to go do something. I come back, and I go, "How is it 30-26?" And I'm watching the game, and I watched that stupid try.
Oh no!
The most stupid try I've ever seen, and I'm like, "What is going on? What's happening here?" I was gobsmacked.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bloody Melbourne Storm, isn't it? They just find a way to win. I mean, I think he's already stepped. I don't think what anyone else does this season. I think Alex Johnston could break the try scoring record twice over, and it would not pale in comparison to that Coates try. The fact he jumped from nearly 5 meters out and still got there with room. That was the part that shocked me, is where he jumped and where he landed and the distance. I was like,
he's done that so many times though. That's his specialty.
And that's right.
That's just a ridiculous
his
try.
specialty. Now everyone's going to look to him to do that big play. So he's made himself a massive star in this game. And I think I think that's one of your Queensland wingers locked down already. Round 2, he's made himself one of the best.
Proven.
But Warriors. Okay, let me.
They can't be disappointed.
Let me ask you this though: what is it about the Warriors? Whenever they go down to Melbourne, they have a fucking chance. They could lose all season. They go to play Melbourne in Melbourne, they will be set to win that game.
I think it's similar weather. Actually, it might be similar weather because Melbourne's probably the closest to New Zealand out of any team.
Yeah,
that's probably bullshit, but
I think they're just the two opposing styles of the teams. Melbourne very structured and very disciplined. Warriors still structured and disciplined, but they have a bit of that
bit more
freedom and flow where they just go through
that SJ.
Yeah, I think was it the Watini-Zelezniak try. I think Shirley Johnson, and then I can't remember who was in the middle, just tapped it on. It was perfect into the hands. I was like, only the Warriors could do that and make it look effortless. So
exactly.
I think even though
up the Warriors this season again.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I know everyone wants to get on Warriors hype train. I think secretly they are everyone's second team. Let's be real.
Everyone kind of wants them to win a grand final. If their team's not winning a grand final, I think everyone's unanimously is up the Warriors.
Yeah. But I think Warriors, even though 2 losses, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with this season.
Yeah, I still have them placed pretty high.
I have them.
It's fine.
I have them decently well on my roster, but we'll get to that later, everyone. We've got gotta get through.
We have to get through business.
Have to get through round 3 predictions, and then we'll go into our
Sunday game.
Latter predictions. But the Sunday
Eagles
game,
versus Roosters. Battle of the winners
from Las Vegas.
Of Vegas.
Yeah.
And it was a close affair. When I was looking at the score, it was very close. I just think the Eagles just edged out at the end.
I watched that game, and I think they built a new stand at Brookvale now, so they got more people back into that ground. I don't think I saw a single empty seat at their end. I think when someone scored, they panned to a shot of the crowd, everyone is going ballistic in the stands. I think Manly are one of your top 4 this season, and I think Turbo stays fit. I don't think that's your only
that's
worry.
almost every season.
That's almost every season. But I think this season, Luke Brooks and Cherry Evans probably are going to do massively this season. I think
Luke Brooks looks different. He looks like a different player.
That's right.
Alongside Cherry.
In different colours. I think with Cherry Evans, it's just given him so much more freedom, and his pressure's gone.
The pressure's off because most of it's on Cherry. And so he can kind of play that secondary role to Cherry and kind of do what he wants to do.
Everyone knows he could at the Tigers, but now he's just free to do it. Like, he is.
It's just if the Tigers had someone like Cherry.
Yeah. I mean, Cherry Evans is going to do his thing, obviously, and he's probably he's a great half. So.
I think actually the Roosters have a great shot this season. I remember watching the Vegas game, and they just looked like a absolute bully of a team. Like, you saw the players that were playing for them, and you're like, salary cap? ? And also you're like, this team's dangerous, but it's whether they put on, the Rockets to go and do it. That's the question. Are they going to really buckle down this year and show why they're a great team?
Yeah, I mean, I've got Roosters sitting pretty well in my predictions for the ladder, but I think for the Roosters, it's in terms I think they've peaked, I guess, in a way. Like,
this is their peak this season.
But I don't think it's just they can't get into upper echelon where
they just need to fight a bit
Melbourne more. And Broncos, they're all edged. Like with Reece. I can't even say his name now. That's how much
go on, mate.
He annoys me, but I love him. So he gets into that. They've got the Broncos are now in that top 4 teams, and they're like kind of above the rest. I don't know if the Roosters have something to get into that thing. And this week, I think Keary is out, so I have to see how the Roosters go
without that.
But I think I've got Manly hype train also. What do you think?
I think a lot of people have a great feeling about Manly.
Yeah.
This year.
If you take anything away from this, Canberra hype train, Manly hype train, and I think now everyone else is going to be saying about this next game, Dolphins hype train.
Fins up, hey?
Oh my god!
Is it?
I had so many expectations for this game.
I actually thought,
and it just
honestly,
went into the shitter straight from the off.
Look. They changed the team They set up the team quite differently to round one. They got rid of O'Sullivan. They put him on the reserves. They chucked him straight out. Tessie Doom back after that performance, and they'll like get that out of here. And they put an Averillo.
Tessie New should be back on the team until.
I don't think he will.
Year, mate.
And that's what Wayne Bennett was saying. He said that the team's so close that everyone's fighting for that position. Yeah. And if you're not going to perform, then you're straight out.
I think it was
he missed his opportunity.
Everyone's talking about the black jerseys. It's because
the black jerseys. Everyone's
jerseys. Everyone's like, oh, they're so much better on that jersey. Because
when
they wore that cream coloured, shitty looking one at Suncorp, I was like, they're just gonna lose, aren't they? Just gonna lose.
Doesn't install much confidence.
The only thing I've got worry for, like they might go well this season. The only thing I've got worry for, I think. Jesse Brobish's last season at the club, they've got a few aging forwards there who still are working hard, but I mean, when you get up in years, you can't do the same things. But
they're trying to get them and the Bronx actually fighting for Tavita Pengai Jr. And earlier this week, a bit of cheeky transfer news. Tavita Pengai Jr. was at the Dolphins club having lunch.
I saw that, and I saw what you're talking about before we started recording this. I just sighed. This guy doesn't make his mind up. He wants to do boxing, and then he wants.
Next week he's going to be at the Bronx Leagues club. He's going to be like,
oh my god!
Yeah, and then the week after he might even be at the West Tigers. He might be at the West Tigers next week. Never know with this guy.
This guy went from the Broncos to Penrith to the Dogs, and then now he's coming back again.
And we don't know where the hell he's going.
I don't want to hear his name again. I don't want to hear his name. It just has so many bad memories from that 2020 season for the Broncos. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it just boils my blood. Him and David Fafita just...
Because they became such good players as well after that.
David Fafita played well for 2 rounds. Left for the Titans on a big deal, and Pango Jr. sat on the sideline and did jack shit for 2020. And that's why I still have the jersey from it. So, but Dragons, I don't think
it was a hype train from first round. I think it was just such a hype. Everyone's like, "Oh, the Dragons make top 8." There was such an expectation.
They played the Titans.
I didn't see that.
I saw I saw exactly how I thought I would. Without that scoreline, I knew Dragons would win. Knew it'd be a half-average game, and then I knew everyone would be like, "Oh, the Dragons are good this year."
Yeah,
that's
only first round.
The thing is, they've got a decent team. Like, Flanagan and Ben Hunt's a decent halves
Lomax
pairing, and Lomax
Sloan,
is a decent. And
when he wants to play,
they're all decent players. Just they can't get a performance together or consistency.
I don't know.
And the fact that Dolphins kept them scoreless after Cowboys put a score on them.
Like, I thought they'd at least score a try or two, but the fact they kept them scoreless.
What's it? Jack Bird scored and got it taken away. It just looked like they were just deflated at that point. They didn't have anything left.
They didn't have anything to respond back.
Yeah.
At all.
But I'm sure they'll bounce back. I think they'll do better maybe than last season. I just don't know. It's too early. I think they're just the same Dragons that we saw last season. I think they've made some recruitments, but I don't know if it's going to change that whole thing. Even with new coach Shane Flanagan in, I don't know what the Dragons do, and I don't have many answers for that, apparently.
No. Yeah. Alright, so that's our review of round 2.
Yeah.
Let's get straight into our predictions for round 3.
Round 3.
Now, there's some great matchups, and the first game is probably like one of the best ones of the season. The grand final rematch. Bronx versus Penrith.
Down in Penrith too.
Down in Penrith.
I mean,
I think Penrith will win that one.
Yeah, I think Penrith
easily
got that one. I mean, Adam Reynolds out with a knee, and they've got Jock Bowden at 7, who I think will be a decent guy, but I think without Reynolds, controlling the
it'll be very hard.
And with, I think, a full strength Penrith team, even without James Fisher-Harris, I think they've still got Brisbane covered, so I've got Panthers to win that one. Friday game, Warriors versus Canberra.
And that's a good game. I think that's going to be a good game. It's in Christchurch.
Yeah.
Now,
which is the only reason
it's hard to.
I've tipped Warriors.
I think Warriors are going to win that one. Pour up the milk, but I just don't think they're going to. I think the Warriors have just had an unlucky start.
Yeah. I think Warriors will be... They won't want to lose at home again after the Sharks loss. And I think Canberra will have some fight in it, so it'll be a decent game to watch. But I think I've got Warriors.
The first place, Canberra Raiders. That's a bit of a weird thing to say.
It is a bit weird, but I think they'll be...
Do you think the Milk loses their first game? They lose the Milk.
I think they'd lose their first game, but I don't think it's a... I think it's a close loss. Maybe a try.
I think it's close.
A try or something.
But I think Warriors will... Oh, voice crack. Edge out.
Yeah.
But yeah. So next game, Battle of Sydney.
The most heated rivalry in rugby league history.
And I think the Roosters will win that one.
Yeah, Roosters have got them covered.
I just don't know what it is. Rabbitoh side has such a great team, but they just can't pull it together. And it's actually Jack Whiting's first game for the Rabbitohs this weekend. And is it Angus Crichton's as well?
Yeah, I think he's on the bench though, so it should be decently good.
I think Roosters will win that one.
Yeah, I've got Chooks over South. And it's Saturday game, Dogs vs Titans.
Oh, battle of the bottom. Well, my
pretty much
kind of near bottom.
The Titans.
I'm sorry for the Titans, but I think the Dogs will win.
Dogs, yeah. I got Dogs winning that one. Home team.
Yeah, I've got the Dogs too.
Not much I can say about the Bulldogs at this point.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, I can't say much about the Titans, to be honest. I don't like how they look this season. I know Fafita's out injured, but...
in the halves, and then AJ Bremson's in the centres, and they've got a young fella at fullback, so I'm not even sure what to think of the Titans yet, but I'm sure Bulldogs fans will be happy to get the win. Who won't be happy will be the Dragons. I think they're in for another loss to the North Queensland Cowboys.
I think the Cowboys will win that one. I think
convincingly.
The Dragons just had a hype train.
Yeah.
I think it was just a hype train, to be honest. I don't have much else to say, really.
No. I mean, I'm looking at the tippy right now, and it's the 93% to the Cowboys.
It's like $3 to Dragons, $1.38 to the Cowboys. So
I mean, it wasn't as bad as the next one. 96% to Sharks and 4% to Tigers.
You'll love this. The Tigers have $4.10 to the Dragons, $1.23.
I mean, can the pair of Leichhardt even drive them there? I have no idea how to call this game. It could be a blowout. It could be a decent game. I just don't know.
It could be the biggest upset of the year, or it could be the Sharks being the Sharks. But I'm gonna go for the latter, and I think the Sharks will be the Sharks.
Yeah, I got the
finish
Sharks.
them off.
Aiden Caesar at 7 for the Tigers. I think will help them out a bit. Justin Olam in the centres, and I think Coruscant, their forward pack's looking pretty decent. So I think they've got all the right pieces, the Tigers. They just need to find a way to put the puzzle together. So
yeah, I just don't see it this season. But if they really crack down, I think in the coming seasons they'll be a bit better a team. And obviously they need some adjustments, but the youngsters are looking good.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna beat around the bush, but I just don't know about this season.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that about every other time.
As long as they get 16th, they've done an improvement, eh? They've gone up one place.
Right, yeah. The expectations are low, which means you can't not perform. That's how I feel.
Exactly.
But then we've got Manly
a Sunday game, first
Parramatta.
Sunday game at Para. Oh, I'm gonna go Eagles still. I'm gonna go Eagles. I think it'll be a close game. But I'm still going Eagles.
Yeah.
It's a hard toss-up.
I had Manly. But I don't... With home teams doing so well at their home ground, I don't know whether... I'm going to go against you. I'm going to go Parramatta over Manly in Parramatta.
Because of the home ground.
I don't mind if I get that wrong. Because it means Manly are what I thought they were, and they're going to be contenders. Yeah. But, I mean, if Parramatta win, I think it's anyone's game.
Exactly. I think it'll be a close game. I just think Eagles are a bit on the run.
And last game of the round. If
Storm
you're going to watch a game,
Knights.
I don't think you would tune in for this one, to be honest. If you're a Knights fan, I mean, it's at home. If you want to see
Jerome Hughes is out this week. He's actually not playing.
Sure.
And for some reason, the tipping is actually tipping towards the Knights at home this week. But I don't agree with that. I think the Storm will win, even without Jerome Hughes.
I mean, yeah, they've got no Munster, no Hughes. They've still got Pappenhausen and Harry Grant.
I just think that's the Storm. They'll keep on chipping away at you.
They find a
getting
way.
it done.
They find a way to beat everyone. I mean, Jaden Brayley's been named on the bench, and
Oh yeah.
I mean Cogger and Gamble in the halves. The Newcastle team's looking pretty
Joe
strong.
Chan in the forwards for the Storm.
Yeah, it's 11. Back row. Yeah, I've got Storm winning that, but
I think Storm will.
I think
it'll be a close game. I just think Storm.
as
you'll see later on.
I think the biggest thing from that is whether to see if Newcastle getting rid of Hastings was
Exactly.
worth it. And
I don't know.
think it was. I think, as I said before, I think they should, if they're going to get rid of anyone, I probably Tyson Gamble's probably that one guy you maybe look to, because I don't think Hastings, yes, they lost, but you can't just get rid of your 7. Like South,
No.
how do you get rid of a 7?
Your main
2
playmaker.
rounds? Yeah, how do you get rid of them 2 rounds into a season? Like, I know you've lost, but
Just don't copy everyone else. Don't copy the Dolphins where you just change up your halves and think that's gonna
if this
change everything.
This round's gonna be remembered as the round where halves are just gone. I'll run you through it. Ready? So you go from Broncos no Reynolds, Roosters no Keary, South no Ilias, and Tigers no Sullivan.
Yeah.
And then Newcastle and Storm no number 7, and then Storm's got no Munster, no Hughes. Knights don't have Hastings.
And if the Dolphins were playing this round, they wouldn't have O'Sullivan playing still.
Yeah, exactly. So that's our tips for round. You want to just go through them quickly? I've got Penrith.
Yeah, I got Penrith too.
Warriors.
Yeah, Warriors as well.
Roosters.
Yep, Roosters as well.
Dogs.
Dogs as well.
Cows.
Cows as well.
Sharks.
I'll go Sharks.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if something happens though.
Yeah. If Tigers win, praise the Lord, right?
Yeah.
I got Parramatta.
I have Eagles. Yeah, I think they will.
And
then
Storm.
Yeah, Storm.
I got Storm.
And obviously the Dolphins win a round. Fins up.
I mean, they're on the win streak.
Bye round.
In win streak.
Yep.
Should be good.
All right, time everyone's been waiting for the way too early NRL round predictions.
Now this is based off 2 rounds of the competition and
ladder prediction. I mean,
yeah, the ladders. I don't know how we're gonna go with this, to be honest.
Did you also want to do the grand final? Predict what the grand final is going to be?
I think we'll go through the ladder, and then I think it'll be pretty obvious what our grand final prediction might be. So we'll start bottom.
Who you got?
I think we both can say this together. 3.
I don't know.
2, 1.
Titans.
Yeah. I got.
I said Titans.
Oh, you got Titans.
I said Titans.
I got Tigers.
I got Titans. I'm being a bit nice to the Tigers.
I mean,
but yeah, I'm not. It's a battle of the bottom. It's between those two, but I feel like the Tigers might go up.
Well, exactly right. Like I got
a slight
16. I've got Titans, and last I've got Tigers. Now that could be.
Yeah, I got Tigers 16th, so it could be anyone really of those two. To be honest,
either team.
I'm not convinced by the Titans, and the Tigers. I think it's just way too early. Next season, if they keep on building on from this season, I think next season they'll be mid-table, maybe 11, 12.
Well, I heard today. I don't know. I heard today Stefano there's some rumours going around that Stefano wasn't happy at the club and
he wanted to leave.
Well, I'm not sure if he wanted to leave, but Tigers wanted him to give him notice to see are you gonna stay. So we need to.
And the Storm are looking at him, and
I think wherever he goes, he's gonna be unbelievable. I mean, I don't know which teams would. I think out of the teams, maybe Dolphins might look for a young forward
Yeah.
with a bit of heart. Maybe even Bulldogs or I was going to say Canberra, but I don't think they really need someone like that. They've got Tarpany and
But the Storm don't need anyone, but apparently they're leading the chase for him. So,
which is slightly odd because they've had that trial deal with Oldham and the other guy. I can't remember his name.
yeah. Bloor.
Yeah, Sean Bloor. But yeah, I've got Tigers last, Titans 16th. Who's your 15th?
Who's your 15th? I'll go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Knights.
I've got Bulldogs 15th.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be kind of interchanging because my 14th is the Dogs. I think the Knights. I don't know what it is. They can be a great team, but at the same time,
They lost all their games last year and had a 10-week winning streak to get into the finals. So
I think it's kind of like how I think it was a couple seasons ago when the Cowboys made top 8 and they were doing well.
Yeah.
And everyone was saying, "Oh, the next season the Cowboys will do fine," and then the Cowboys dropped off dramatically, and everyone was kind of shocked.
And
I think it might be a bit of that.
They're back with that form, but I think
it's gonna be hard. My 14th is the Dogs. I just think I've heard a lot of Western Sydney folk go, the Dogs are winning the premiership against the Penrith in the final, but I don't see it. I think, and they're going off this one conspiracy theory that I think it's like something about the year. Last time, like every 20 years or something, they make a grand final. I don't know what it is, but some stupid stat like that.
I think what?
And
is it 2014?
Yeah, 2014, 2004.
Yeah.
And 1994, I think it was. But I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced at all.
Well, that's alright, because in my 14th, I've got St. George Illawarra. I think
we're pretty same, but we're just switching up because my 13th.
I mean, that bottom
St. George.
That bottom four. It is anyone's game. Whoever comes last.
It's anyone's game.
But 13th, you said you had St. George.
St. George.
Yeah, I've gone with the Dolphins at 13th.
I think I've put the Dolphins very high. Might be on the hype train a bit.
The hype train already. Man's been to one Redcliffe game and already started to get on the hype train.
I think.
Did you want to tell the audience about that game, Benson, and how you were watching it?
Do I want to?
If you want. I think it's.
I was watching that game. Well, I was watching both games actually. I was watching both games extremely drunk. The Redcliffe one I was drunk. The first one because it was kind of like a blowout, and I was,
the Cows.
I spilled a drink on some poor 40-year-old guy, and that's pretty sick. You got to do that
afterwards. Just had absolute.
I was watching the Dolphins game against St. George on Sunday, and it was St. Pat's Day, so I was having a lot of Guinness and watching that game.
How do you drink Guinness, man? I had one.
It's disgusting.
I had one sip. I was like, this is bloody awful. I mean, fair dues. When it's cold, I think it's better to drink. But
should we become a beer tasting channel instead of a footy, tipping channel?
So you hear that? Any sponsors you want to get on? Just contact us through the email.
Heineken,
beer,
Heineken,
4X,
anyone?
50 lashes.
Even Guinness, even though we don't like it.
I like Great Northerns. So we'll get there.
We know, Tom.
I get number 12.
I put Eels.
Number 12 was one of the hardest ones for me. I crossed out 2 teams. Number 12, you've put Parramatta. I put Newcastle.
Yeah.
I think.
What's your reasoning behind that?
Newcastle, they'll do well, but then they'll have their moments, just like any other season. And then the top, and it's
11. What's 11?
11. I've got Warriors.
I could be on the Warriors hype train as well, but
God, how many
I'm actually
we got
put
so many characters
the
on this
Bunnies.
hype train.
I put the Bunnies 11th.
You got
But in my
Bunnies
top 10.
11th. Oh, that's
I got Bunnies 11. I feel like they're gonna. I don't know. Like if they work hard, I think they can be a great team.
but they'll
But
flop.
if I just feel like they won't. That it's like, was it last season when they just missed out on top 8? I think it was,
I think so, yeah.
and they worked hard and then they lost,
Yeah.
at the wire.
Mm.
And I just think, I just can't see them,
Yeah. Yeah. I got
Okay,
Warriors.
top 10. Top 10. First hype train team. Fins up. I got the Fins making top 8. Top 10. Top 8.
Oh
Top
my
10.
God.
I don't know why.
I've got Parramatta at 10th. I got them missing the 8.
That's a fair shout as well.
Without a doubt. Number 10. Yeah.
I'm probably a bit biased, but I think the Fins might shock some people. They won't make top 8. I'm telling you right now, they're not making top 8.
It's round 2. These are really early predictions.
You never know. They
We've
could win the premiership by the end of it.
What we've gone off, right? You've got Dolphins winning and losing, so they're one apiece. Parramatta have won. One against, and then lost against the reigning premiers. So really, they're in the same boat.
Well, the only reason I'm so confident about the Dolphins is the amount of changes they made for that second game, and it's so they had such a different team playing. So I think if they play a team like they did last week, I think they'll be good each week. And obviously some other players that got dropped will be probably brought back in, but I think the players that are already existing are just gonna thrive.
Yeah, that'll be right. So
all right, number 9. Who's your number 9? Oh, who is it?
I've gone with South. I got South just missing the 8.
Yeah, I got the Milk. Actually, no, I switched it up. No, I don't have the Milk. I got the Cowboys. Just missing out.
That's fair though. I think Cows have got a decent chance, but you have to see how they go. I guess.
Yeah, and my number 8 is actually the Canberra Raiders. Up the Milk.
I got Cows at 8. I've got them in my 8, but
for me, it's a battle between those two teams.
Yeah, and that's 7th. What do you got 7th?
The Roosters.
I got Milk. I got Canberra at 7.
You're more hype trained than me.
No, I've got South. From 9th, I've got South, Cows, and Canberra. I've got them all kind of close. I mean,
well, I can't really talk yet because there's one more hype train I haven't talked about.
Excuse me, sir. Where'd you put Dolphins again? 9th?
10th.
And who'd you put 9th again?
Raiders.
Oh, it's
actually no, Cowboys. It was Cows. I put Cows 9th and then Raiders 8th.
Oh, that's fair. Oh, we are really just getting on these hype trains. I think a bit too early in the season. I mean,
number 6.
Tigers will win in like round 5, and everyone get on their hype train, and then not win another game apart from a bye in the season. Like
go like a year without winning, like they did last season, or something like that. 18 months or something ridiculous like that.
They've won the byes though, like.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. Come on.
That's 2 points. I mean, it's 2 more points than they would than a regular game. 6.
6, I got the Sharks.
I've got Cronulla there too.
Yeah.
On the same. Cronulla, decent, but I don't see him beating some of the sides I've got above them though. So
I got some shocking top 5.
You got 5th.
Just arrangements. I got the Bronx.
I got Roosters at 5. And they got Broncos at 4.
You're gonna like my number 4. Do you want to have a guess who it is?
If you've put the Cows at 4,
No, I've already done the Cows. Which team has I not talked about? That's a hype. I'll give you a clue. They made it to the semi-finals last year.
On there?
I've already said Parramatta. They made it to a
You put the
semi-final
Knights on
last year.
there.
No, a semi-final. It's like the top 4 teams.
I can't. I don't know. I've lost all count.
The Wars.
Oh.
The Wars. The Wars are 4. They're gonna win it. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I don't think
I
they'll
will
win
bet you
it. but-
$20 that the Warriors missed the 8.
All right,
bet
well,
you $20.
this is recorded here.
Yeah,
this
I
is
know.
recorded here.
I'll show you paying you out on camera. I will pay you
Yeah.
$20.
I think the
If
Wars.
Warriors make the 8, I will pay you $20. If they don't, you owe me $20. Because
No,
I don't. I've got
think,
them.
Nah, they're making 4th. They're coming
have
4th.
you got them 4th?
Yes.
I've got them 11th. I haven't even close to the 8.
No, I think the Wars are gonna absolutely go crazy. It's gonna be scenes. The grand final. They're gonna score a last minute try. And who's the person that kicks for them? Is it SJ?
Yeah.
SJ's gonna do a Jonathan Thurston, hit the post, and then the ball's gonna be received, kicked straight to Nathan Cleary. Nathan Cleary's gonna drop the ball. He's gonna have a sook like Ben Hunt, and then
it's
gonna be all over.
Speaking of Ben Hunt in that Titans game, I think
that
it
was
was like Vossi. He like shades
disgusting.
of 2015. I was like, you cannot do that to me. I watched that game and I cried when he dropped that ball. You can't do this to me. It's been like nearly 10 years. That's mad though.
More than that,
10
it's
years.
like 18 years. 18 years. Crazy. Okay, top 3. This is where real business happens. Who's your third?
Oh, Manly.
Yep.
I'm heavily on
I got
this
Manly
Manly
too.
hype train. We are riding this Manly hype train to the end.
I think
and I think
they look like a different team.
Yeah, I think they've found some new revitalized.
But then again, we're gonna say that, and then Travojevic is gonna. I call him Travojevic. He's gonna,
Seabold's gonna have some headlines, bring up some stupid stats, and piss the team off.
Okay,
Now,
my
ladies and
top
gentlemen,
2
I think,
is predicted.
Yeah, if you've been listening at home and you've been ticking these off, I think you all know what our top 2 are going to be. So I think we can unanimously say this. Ready? Second.
I don't know because
oh my god,
I actually got a shock second and a shock first.
What?
Depending on who you're talking to.
All right, who have you got second?
The Penrith Panthers. I got them second. Now, I think the Storm are going to win, top the ladder.
You've got them as minor premiers.
Yes, I got them as minor premiers. However, actual premiership, I think Panthers will win again.
Oh, yeah. I've got Penrith.
That's my prediction.
I've got Penrith. Sorry, I've got Storm second, Penrith first. But that's minor premiership. And in the grand final, who have you got?
Oh, okay. My grand final, Penrith Panthers, has to be. Now, it'll be shocking. I haven't actually done like the order of it, like you know how you're supposed to like first plays fourth or something.
I've just skipped that and gone straight.
Okay, well, my dream grand final. I don't know if their lines are, but my dream grand final is going to be Penrith versus the Roosters. I think the Roosters are going to make the grand final. It's either them or the Wars. It's going to be a shock. I think
What?
the final 4, like my final 4 teams will be Penrith. I don't know if it lines up. Roosters, Storm, and the Wars. Right? Realistically,
These fucking Warriors.
if Penrith versus either Storm or Wars, they're beating them. And I actually think if the Storm versus the Wars again, I actually think the Wars might win. But if that doesn't happen,
I'm going to go for a very sensible
my two
Penrith
favourites.
Storm final, but I've pissed that right off. I'm going, you know what? I'm going Manly and Broncos. as my grand final.
That's a crazy grand final.
Anyone else in the Sydney club or Warriors.
I don't know.
Manly hype train.
I think
Broncos hype train.
bit of Roosters hype train for me. Bit of Wars hype train for me.
Have we just got
Bit of up the milk.
We've got 11 hype trains going. We've got Dolphins, Warriors, Cows, Canberra, Roosters, Broncos, Manly, and then in a way Storm because we know they're going to be good. We've got like 10 hype trains. Half the competition is one hype train. We are sending this thing. Oh,
all right, we got through our first episode, Tom.
I don't know how we've done that. Also,
I don't know how we've done it.
It took us nearly over half an hour just to get through round one because of it. Just what happened. 'Cause I don't think we had anything.
Round two, yeah. Fuck.
I had written down we're going to cover Daily M's, but
no, I don't think. I think we look at that later on.
yeah, I mean,
now
I'm still recording.
This is pretty much. Yeah.
Daily M, if you're wondering, top three: Nico Hines, Pappenhausen, Trebojevic. What do you expect?
I don't believe it. I'm gonna say Nico's there, but I'm gonna say Nico, SJ, and Zach Hosking. Zach
Hosking is 4.
to make.
He's got 8 points, and Paps and Turbo on 9.
Yeah, but he's on the bench this week.
How does Nico have 12? They've played.
I don't understand that, to be honest.
Also,
I don't know how Hammer, after scoring a hat trick of tries, got less tries than all the fullbacks that got less Dally M points than all the fullbacks.
With Bryce Cartwright from Parramatta.
Anyway, I think we're gonna end it here.
Yeah, we're gonna have to end it here. I'm already yawning, and
I think we're gone, but
my lecture
we'll get better at this,
guys.
guys.
So.
We'll get way better at this.
Yeah, we're figuring out the keys.
We'll have more stamina. We'll have more energy. But if you've watched up to this point, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And also remember, if you like our content, look at socials. We're there on Instagram and at some point TikTok.
And
So
make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow all the socials, like Benson said. I'm Tom. He's Benson.
I'm Benson.
This has been the Scrum Sessions.
We're out.
And enjoy your footy.